Since we moved the entire hot side, I got to redo the exhaust coming through the bumper, so I actually don't have enough pipe to do that. I'm gonna have to order some and wait, so that won't be this weekend. We got to separate the fuel from the cab, which we already did in a previous video. We didn't make a big video about it, but basically this is how we're gonna do it. I made this little aluminum box, got a little latch there, flip the switch, and you know, access whatever you need to access. I do want to tidy up all the wiring and make it clean as possible, because that'll just make the build look so much nicer. I want to reroute this coolant plumbing from front and center underneath this alternator to come out through here, go down and around and under, snake back through, and 90 back in. That's another thing to clean it up. As of right now, this cheap ass radiator's coolant cap leaks, and there ain't no way you're gonna fix that other than hacking it off and welding on a better coolant cap system. Currently, our steam port is feeding back in right here, which is supposed to be the overflow to like a overflow catch can for the radiator. So we'll have to have something welded on, and that will go to its own little canister. I think that they require like 2 liters or something like that. There's a minimum requirement of how big that coolant overflow reservoir needs to be to run on the drag strip. I mean, it's a good idea. Everybody's always pushing heads and pushing coolant, so kind of want that to go somewhere, not on the ground. I gotta weld on the anti-roll bar tabs and connect up the links and heims for the anti-roll bar, but we're gonna wait till we finish the rear suspension, get that all dialed to start working on that. You know, that'll all come together when we're doing all the rear suspension at one time. And the last thing on my crazy punch out list here is I need to secure the passenger seat. I never bolted it down. I welded the brackets to the frame, but I never bolted the frame to the chair. So that's something we'll have to do. And yeah, we're not gonna be able to get all these done this weekend, but I'm gonna try and knock out as many as possible. So one of them we already knocked out. That was to separate the fuel from the cab. It might need some final touches to bring it up to spec where I want it to look, but I think we'll be all right. So I guess we'll start running down all this stuff, start attacking it. Alright, so the reason we have to extend our bump steer down is because if you look at it straight on, it's higher than the lower control arm, and it doesn't really follow it. It goes on the right hand side, the control arm is higher than the steering tie rod, I guess you would say. And that's a bump steer kit. So I already adjusted the other side and got it how I want it. So we had to bring it down further. And in order to do that, I needed a way longer bolt to achieve what I wanted to achieve there and make those both parallel. Now, originally the way I set up the car, I didn't have the weight of the engine in it, transmission in it, so they were parallel with nothing in it. But now with all the weight in it, we had to do some adjustments. So this side is set. Now I just got to go over and do the other side like that. Added a way longer bolt and spacers to bring it down quite a bit. Whew. A little toasty out here. Looks like we got more storms rolling in. It's summertime in Florida. But I did manage to get a couple things done, so it's going to be a very uneventful video. And for me, an uneventful weekend, because, you know, I didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done. But sway she rolls, some things I got to order, so not a big deal. Let's take a look. The oil feed line to the turbo that was pulled too tight, I ordered a longer one. That's installed now. Plenty of slack in it. Good to go. Torque converter bolts are nice and thread lockered and torqued down. Good to go. The transmission lines I couldn't run because I knew I was going to have a clearance problem here, but I'm going to need a tighter 90 to make this 90. And they sell AN fittings that are tighter 90s. They just don't have that big bend in them. It's just a tight 90. So I'm going to have to do that there. in there. And then we'll be able to finish up running the tranny core lines, put the dipstick tube on the transmission. Oh, that might be tricky from this angle with everything installed. We'll find out. I'm pretty sure I've done it before, but if not, you know, we ain't scared. We'll figure something out. And yeah, fill the trans. Then we're waiting on the rear suspension components to come in. Once those guys come in, be able to finish up the rear end and order our drive shaft. So we're making progress, but I didn't knock out all the little things I wanted to. I mean, I did manage to finish up the bump steer on the front on both sides, so that the tie rod essentially is in line with the lower control arm. Whew. All right, guys. Sorry if this weekend was a boring video. Friday, we dropped a pretty sick video to make up for it. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But also, if you liked today's video, let me know. If you didn't, tell me why. And let me know what y'all are working on. If y'all got a project that you're building right now, or you're starting something, or you got an idea on something you want to build, let me know down below in the comments. I'd be really interested to see what all people that are watching me are also building. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.